Thank you for coming on into the live and sharing your essence with me in this eternal moment of which we all share an inextricable and inexorable part. Thank you for doing your part, for coming on in each and every day, and we'll do the same without wasting a single second of your time. Bada bing, bada boom, we go into the charts. BTC got a little bit of a push to the upside. We were talking about a potential rejection to the cloud, but we did get a cross up on the momentum. We'll show you that in a bit, and we'll see what caused the liquidity to shift to the upside here using high block. What is high block capital, you say? Well, people lock their liquidity into the charts to get burnt to a crisp by the market maker for not using a stop loss, and we get to see where those crispy characters lie in wait. So let's do that now. Starting with the 1 minute time frame. Let's go see what's up. If it will load, there we go. So yesterday we were talking about a rejection and possible come into the 50x liquidity. However, they shifted on this $110 million 50x pool that opened up after we finished the stream, and they retraced into that 100x and their 50x partner in crime, and also took out that 140 that we were talking about up here at the 28,695, and they cleared the 50x pool, and now they're starting to retrace down possibly into the 50x and beyond. We have taken the 100xers. There is a 50x pool of longs at 28,366, and the total imbalance on the 1 minute time frame is $8.27 billion imbalance to the long side of things. If we go to the 7-day and shift to that time frame, we do have a thick stack up at 29.4 now. I didn't think I would be saying that, but there is some thick short liquidity up in the 29.4 region now, starting to appear in a thick band here. 2.6 billion at 29.4, and basically $10 billion on the 7 billion on the 7-day time frame. We do have a thicker band of longs to the downside here in single digits, basically a $15 billion pool down sub 28k to 27.2, and let's go see if that remains on the monthly. Monthly also is having this $6 billion pool up at 29.2 that keeps getting slightly thicker here. Other than that 29.2, there's nothing really much above. The majority is down here in the sub 26k region, 26.4 double digits and below. So do they come and sweep these lows at some point? That is the question. Looks like maybe there's some options expiration. When is the options expiration? Options expiration dates. Wait a minute, let's do that. So it is October. So that's probably why we're getting a rise now. Today is the options expiration. So essentially they will expire Friday today, and then that's probably why we're getting a short squeeze then. So after the short squeeze subsides, then they could come down after that point. 3-month time frame does have that imbalance to the sub 24k region. Same with the 6-month, nothing changed on that, I'm sure. You do have this thick band of 143 billion up at 32.1, starting to get thicker from back here in July where it was 81 billion. Now it's 143, so thickening up that band just as they did down here, 122 to 156. And overall on the 2-year, you got that $600 billion up at the 33.2 and 32.8 and 32.4. That's $600 billion, and you got basically more than that down below, but spread out in a thicker range down to 21k from 24k. So where do they want to go today? Let's go find out into the charts. Going into yesterday's outlook. So we technically tightened up the range up top, and we said there could be a third hit to the high, and they did hit that high one more time. Up here we were looking at a possible A, B, C to the downside. It did shift. Why did it shift here, and how could you have caught the long outside of our time frame? Well, we have to turn on our momentum for that, so let's do that now. Link in the description for more. Scroll down to features, momentummaster.info, and you can see everything toggled here. Today's thing will be the super trend. Super trend is a back-tested true range zone which also displays a percentile needed to reverse the current trend. This will likely also be a reversion point to test as support or resistance. When broken, a new line drawn in the opposite direction tracks the new trend and its strength with the percentile monitor. So here on the hourly time frame, we're looking at this cross down event. We left it as is, and this thinning cloud. And so we were back here at about 8 o'clock saying that we were going to come up, possibly bearishly retest the cloud, and we said it would possibly come down here to this pool. It did not do that, but it did get a drop, so you would have gotten initial profits. And where would you have started to change your tune or pay yourself? When it started to close back above the super trend here. This super trend has been holding since Saturday on the hourly time frame, so it held not once but 2 hits to the super trend, started to shift back up, and you're holding the baseline cross up event. So this cross down shifted to a cross up here, and so you just had the baselines in your favor alongside the super trend, and you came back up to it now. So now we're starting to get that flashpoint of a potential cross down. This is definitely 3 hits to the high region. We put this band out to you that yesterday. We still have this pool up here at the 29.3 region. That's what we were talking about, thickening up. Now this cross up is starting to flash the idea of crossing down. So let's go ahead and make our descent through the time frames to see what is cooking for the momentum. Daily time frame started to get overbought. The money flow beneath the RSI suggesting the money flow comes back in and possibly pushes us up here. On the daily time frame, you also are holding the adaptive moving average. If you came back down to test this for support, looks like you could be possibly SR flipping this adaptive, which means you could be getting more upside. The 2 o'clock angle of the daily cloud and the previous kiss off the cloud with the rocket ship was an interesting move play to the upside here. If we go ahead and take a look at the 3-day, we did manage to close above that cloud. So the 3-day is starting to double top here. Less volume entering in this so far, but this could easily turn into some massive push. So be wary if you're looking to short. This is not necessarily the fade just yet. Wait till the options expiration ends, I would say. And if we look at the 22 giving a blue vector, which is a stopping volume candle, but this is just one of 2 candles for the day. Next candle closing in 31 minutes. Going to the 12-hour time frame, the 12-hour double topping as well, possibly creating an M pattern. You got this possible idea percolating here. The volume is stepping up on this last 12 hours a little bit more than the previous 12. We'll go into that in a minute. Money flow coming back above to the RSI level for that double top scenario. If we go to the 6-hour here, the 6-hour has reset in a manner here while going sideways, so you could get that 6-hour to possibly play out as it forgets its look back 14 period and starts to reset some of these candles they're forgetting and using this indecision to reset itself. Alright, if we go to the 4-hour time frame, but before that, let's go we don't want to jump the gun. What are we looking at on Momentum Master A? Well, the cloud is mighty thick on the 6-hour. This is quite a thick volume band, much thicker than this previous rise up. So this is most likely from this candle here that got rejected. So this started to insert the volume here. This 28,690 region is a daily support and resistance level that we could be monitoring here. If we look at the 6 hour, also starting to cross down but getting this second push up. Interesting to note, the MACD has crossed down but has not yet crossed back up again. Do we see this KD line open up and continue for that last leg down or not? 4 hour time frame was attempting to play out here with the money flow coming back up to the RSI and now starting to come back down again as the RSI potentially rejects. You had a stopping volume candle in blue here, a drift candle up here, now starting to potentially come back. The cross down event is still in effect. If you fail these baselines, has not crossed up just yet. It looks like the line in the sand we were putting here is still the area of interest for what you need to look at to flip to support if we're going to continue bullish. Hourly cloud starting to shift up in a manner here, was previously thinning, turning purple even, and now shifting back up. Kind of got some bearish divergence that started to play out here. The hourly is shifting down here. It's possible you could see more of a squeeze coming in if you, as options expiration is today. So if we come back above this 236 level, these are the ideas you could be looking at. Let's just say frugally in this region, but for now you have to get above that 236 level right now on the hourly time frame. Hourly is starting to reset the 4 hour. 4 hour could potentially push that in conjunction with the hourly. The 6 hour looking to possibly join the fray. And if we look at the 15 minute, the angle on the 15 minute is slightly tapering here in a manner like so. So once again, you'd have to get above this 236 level and hold, and then start to break this daily resistance level. Batting our head against it, not too many times, but not necessarily going lower either. Let's go mark off the liquidity here. So you do have these longs, 102 million. More long interest generated than shorts up here. So they could come sweep these lows to the 28,366 region. 28,366 would take you down here. But once again, the options expiration is today. So maybe they're giving the shorts the run for their money amidst the global sentiment being ultimately bearish. So that pool up above. So where do I see it going? Well, it's currently holding the 15-minute cloud, but coming back beneath it here with that taper on the 15, I'd like to see the 15-minute come back down, possibly for a double bottom. The Williams is in an ambiguous place. It could reset fully here with the 15-minute, or not. The money flow is beneath the RSI here on the 15, and the hourly still possibly coming down to kiss the cloud with the alarm flash of the hard reset here. So if you break this 236, then you could basically be coming to the cloud or coming to these pools and potentially bouncing off of them. I wouldn't feel confident in remaining in a long if you cannot maintain these levels that we're currently at. Essentially, I can lower this down to here now. So we're basically in that zone right now. So if we remain at the current level we're at, we basically could be bursting through for that 4th time's the charm up to this region. If you break this region up at the, let's just say this level, what is this? The $28,755 region. If you start closing candles up above that, there is no short idea anymore. This is either where we start to fade out here and retrace into this liquidity down below, the imbalance on the 1 minute, or come up to this 29.2 imbalance up here. So not the easiest of places to make a call here, to be honest with you. You have a lot of potential for continuation in fade here. Getting mixed signals, this could come down some more, but the money flow is beneath the RSI. This is also giving you that alarming possibility of a hard suppression on the hourly. But the 4-hour also has the money flow beneath the RSI here, which could come up to it. Interesting. Let's go look at the USDT dominance real quick. So we got that, we did not come up to that gap. We got hit at the cloud and came down for a double bottom, holding the baseline here. Does this start to bounce off the baseline here and continue up into this region? If you got a double bottom event, that was a golden pocket bounce off the USDT dominance, which means they could, if it does bounce on this time frame, you have the opposite effect where you're getting the bearish divergence, so people inserted their money some more, still possibly coming lower for a deep retrace. So the opposite of Bitcoin here, if it surges up, it kicks people out into USDT. If it comes down into a deeper retrace into this 786 level, it could pump Bitcoin up some more. Currently reacting off of that 618 region. And if we go to total getting a bounce off of the cloud and coming up to that 3 hits zone. Still has a little bit of room to continue here. The money flow extremely beneath the RSI here, so you could get a surge up on total for that last leg. We had this previous rocket ship. Does this rocket ship carry us to fruition? So that 1.077 trillion is your 236, which happens to be this zone. So until you can get above that level, you can't expect to see anything in this region just yet. But you have your monitored level to watch here at 1.077 trillion. Can we get above it and close some candle with conviction above it? If so, you could be making a idea hit up into these ranges here. The Bitcoin dominance. So we're talking about the dominance potentially coming back above here. Let's go. We were back here expecting it to drop. Reset right now of the dominance on the 4 hour. That angle is quite strong, so it looks like the dominance is taking over. The alts having a little bit of a rally beneath the cloud here after the fact. Basically almost came to the 786 here on the alt pools. Deep retrace bounce as they are more paralyzed than BTC was. And the pocket, so we came right to the 618 and bounced off the 618 for total market cap. So the 618 reaction, you have some potential rejection points as well. Let's go see what the chat is up to. Hey, what's up, CNC? Dixie. Let's go see what the Dixie wants to do. So it came back to that 0.66 retracement region, doing a bunch of, I didn't catch the FOMC meeting, but it looks like it gave back some for the dollar, basically trading in this range for an inducement, grabbing the internal liquidity, possibly going higher after sweeping the longs here. Do have a fair value gap range up in this region, essentially from here to there. So as of this moment in time, it's more ambiguous than not for me to make a solid statement here, but it looks like on the 15-minute you're starting to break this cloud, which is forming here. So if you break this 236 level and this cloud, you're starting to come back down into the pools below. We do have some 50x down at that region here. At the 28366 is just down here, and then just below that you have those pools we laid out for you down even here at the 27k region, 27.3. So even if you come down to these, you could come back up for these highs, but for now we're just going to call it for this moment in time. It looks like the 15-minute and the hourly looking for this little bit of retracement off the cloud, possibly coming into this pool, and we'll see where it goes from there. You'd have to see this rejection point here or not. If you make it above this, obviously these are slated to be inbound. The cloud will have you at hello, just as it retests and reversed out of here. The cloud will be your guide. So those of you with Momentum Master, please take a look at your trend clouds. Make sure your candles are closing beneath them for shorts and above them for longs. So until we can get back above this trend cloud, I am seeing a retracement here for the 15 and the hourly. The hourly potentially flashing a cross down event for the baselines as well in the next 15 minutes. We'll figure it out with the daily close. The 236 level at 28,653 is a zone here. The range highs up at the 28,755. This entire region to watch out for. Need candles with conviction to close above it to be bullish. Otherwise, retracement down to this region to kiss the cloud on the hourly. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, folks. So thank you for coming on into the live and sharing your essence with me in this eternal moment of which we all share an inextricable and inexorable part. Thank you for doing your part, for coming on in each and every day, and we'll do the same, bringing the fire, the accuracy, the precision, all that fun stuff, and we'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.